Political censorship and deplatforming has been one of the ugliest aspects of cancel culture, communist culture, actually. It denies people a voice online and in the digital age. Joining me now is someone who has perspective on this firsthand, ALX. ALX, thank you so much for being on the Benny Report.
Thank you for having me, Benny.
First off, that's contraband behind you. I can't believe you would bring a Betsy Ross flag onto national cable television.
Now, the Betsy Ross flag is one of my favorites, actually. And I mean, what isn't contraband these days? You see them canceling the Muppets. You see them canceling Kermit the Frog now. Now the American flag is canceled. Everything's contraband. What isn't it is the question.
That's right. This is the goal and the tactics of communists, to rid culture of all culture that they don't like. It's bewildering, it's crazy, and it happened to you. We have here a screenshot of, I believe, your Twitter account. You had nearly 100,000 followers, and then poof, gone. What happened?
Well, you see, the thing about Twitter is they never really like to give a precise explanation when they take you offline, especially conservatives. Now, they'll tell you broke a rule, or you may have broke a rule, which happened in my case. They weren't very specific about it, and when I reached out for comment for one of their PR officials, they said that for privacy reasons, they couldn't go into detail about it. And you see a pattern, especially after the election, of many cases like that, including the President of the United States himself while he was still in office. He was taken off of Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, even Spotify. Now, it's a pattern that's happening even after the election as well.
I don't know how I wake up in the morning without my Donald Trump Pinterest content. It was actually my favorite part of my morning. I joke, but this is a very serious topic. What do you say to young people who just say, I shouldn't be a conservative online at all? I'm just going to get banned.
Well, it's definitely getting tough these days. My advice is to get on as many platforms as possible. I'm on Telegram. Instagram is getting worse, but they're not as bad as Twitter. There's this new platform called Clubhouse, which is actually really interesting. It's audio based, so it's more focused on conversations rather than like dunking on people on Twitter. But my advice is definitely to get on as many platforms as possible, engage in dialogue with people rather than trying to own them, because that could be confused with harassment, and you could be reported for that type of stuff. So definitely try and expand your audience by getting on as many digital platforms as possible, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, it really is truly cultural communism when you're trying to ban people's ideas and thoughts. Have you ever heard of the right people, the good people, being the people who are in favor of book burnings and censorship?
No. So actually, yeah, the Democrat Party has embraced censorship. More ideas are always better. For that reason, conservatives really like a whole variety of ideas, because the bad ideas get shut down naturally, and then the good ideas a lot of people will support. So if you notice on Twitter, what happens is if something is a really bad take, they'll get ratioed. I know that's not the best way to determine, but obviously, if somebody's being a racist or anything out in the open, they're going to get called out for it. And then what happens a lot of the times? They delete their tweets. So they self-censor in a way that if it's a bad take or anything, they take it down themselves rather than having other people take it down for them.
Yeah, something I hope that you never take down, ALX, is your sweet, sweet Betsy Ross flag right there behind you. Thank you so much for coming on and encouraging young people to keep fighting online.
Thank you for having me, Benny.
Follow ALX, guys. Follow ALX. You will not be disappointed. On Instagram now. And Telegram? Yeah, and Facebook. Our next guest will fight against cancel culture and the Biden administration's Marxist agenda if elected to Congress. Catalina Lauf joins us next. To win the culture war, you must first fight the culture war. Our next guest is a culture warrior. Someone who's not a culture warrior is so-called Republican Adam Kinzinger, who has become a prominent darling of the corporate media and seems to enjoy being a cable news talking head, bashing his own party far more than he enjoys being a Republican congressman representing his constituency. Joining me now is Catalina Lauf, a Republican running against Kinzinger in a GOP primary. Catalina, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Benny.
So it's brave to go and primary a fellow Republican. What is it that inspired you to do this, and how is the race going so far?
You know, the movement has inspired me. It's unfortunate that we've gotten to the point where we have to challenge people in our own party because they forget where they came from. They forget who they serve. Somebody like Adam Kinzinger has been completely absent from his district, from his constituency, and ultimately the voters in the party. This is a very Republican seat, Illinois 16. It's one of the few left outside of the collar counties from Cook County. And so it's very important that we continue building that wall against and fighting the Democrats here. Illinois 16 deserves a fighter. They deserve a culture warrior that's not afraid to push back against the far left progressive agenda. They don't deserve somebody in it for their own personal gain and personal ambitions the way Adam Kinzinger has been doing it.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, you have the Republican Party. This is a broadening and widening coalition, a coalition that represents the working class in our country, and good for the Republican Party for doing that. So how does Adam Kinzinger square that with his visceral attacks on Donald Trump, who absolutely represents the grassroots of the party that he claims to be part of?
Yeah, he doesn't get it. He's completely out of touch. I mean, where we come from, this is a very small business, manufacturing, a lot of farms. I grew up in the area. I'm a daughter of a small business owner. My mother came here legally from Guatemala. You know, the America First agenda worked. It allows somebody like myself to pursue the American dream. It allows all Americans to pursue the American dream. And you're right, Benny. I mean, this was a working class party. It is a big tent. We made so many gains in all different demographics because the America First agenda worked. There are quantifiable results. When you look at the pro-growth economy, the policies, the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, opportunity zones. When I was an appointee with the U.S. Department of Commerce under President Trump, you know, I saw these policies firsthand work from an administration level, the thoughtfulness, the substance that was being put into them, but also how it translated into constituents, into voters, into real Americans. Yeah,
your story is indeed a remarkable one and an inspiring one. And I'd like to play a little bit of your viral campaign ad right now.
I'm the daughter of a legal immigrant who moved to Illinois to pursue the American dream and a small business owner. That's why I love this country, and it's why I'm not afraid to fight for it. It gave my family opportunity, and I want to make sure your children and your grandchildren have a shot at the American dream too. That's why we must preserve what makes America great. I'm Catalina Lauf, and I'm challenging Adam Kinzinger for his seat in Congress because I care about America's future. I care about the future of the Republican Party, our values of free enterprise, our God-given individual liberties, and law and order. It's our party now, it's our movement, and it's America first.
Catalina, you had millions and millions of people watch that ad. We have about 30 seconds left in our show. I wanted to give you an opportunity here to speak to a young person. You yourself are a young person. You're doing a brave thing by going and challenging a member of Congress in your own party and primarying someone at such a young age. I want to give you a chance to speak out to that young person saying, maybe I can't make a difference. Maybe the Never Trump movement is here forever, right? Maybe I can't do this myself. What would you say to that person?
Never back down. We live in this culture of full intimidation, this cancel culture, the far left progressive agenda. You never back down. Your voice matters. And together we can actually make change and push and make sure that we have the American dream possible for future generations.
Well, you are certainly doing your job, Catalina. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
All right, guys. Amazing how fast it goes. That does it for us here on the Benny Report. America is the greatest country in the world. America's worth fighting for. So keep memeing, keep criticizing, keep thinking, and keep fighting. We at the Benny Report are right here alongside with you. See ya.
Hey, I'm Rob Finnerty. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please join the conversation in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, too. Hit the bell icon to be alerted to breaking news. And remember, there's a whole lot more on Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news network. Newsmax TV, where real news for real people.